Hello. So I want to share with everyone, I want to be 1000% transparent and vulnerable here in this video. And I mean, this is really the only way to learn and grow and be able to move forward is by having open and honest conversation, not only with others, but most importantly with yourself. And it's something that I've been doing for the last 2 months in this phase of growth. But it really has been the catalyst to growth and the foundation that I always come back to when I need to figure out what's going on, what is being shifted within me. Because it's through understanding that this is all part of the process that I'm able to be compassionate enough with myself and patient enough with myself and not fall into old patterns and cycles that would actually revert me, stop me, hold me back from the growth that I want and that I'm having. And if you hear little snorty pants, it's Mr. Cuddy over here that I brought with me, our household Frenchie. He loves coming for rides. So I felt some really heavy contrast. In contrast, if you think about painting a beautiful picture of a landscape or sunset or anything that you love drawing, flowers, gardens, people, you know that you need different colors. And the more colors that you have, the more depth, the more contour, the more life you can give it. And that's the same thing that happens with us and with our emotions and with our life and with tasting the variety of flavor that life has to give through not just the good, but also the quote unquote bad. And through that, we're able to kind of look at what it is that we are creating, where we're going, and if we want to change it, and kind of like a navigation that'll tell us, hey, if you want to get here, you take these steps. But it's not that simple. So the last 2 months I've been feeling discomfort. The contrast comes in discomfort, in negative emotion. And when I was reflecting initially in May, it was about my business. Now, my business is dynamic. It's not one thing. There's always pieces and parts of me that I want to explore more, not just with coaching one-on-one, but creating community. Not with just community, but also doing speaking. Not just with speaking, but being able to help children and amplify their ability to believe in themselves and empower themselves. So the thing with that is all the combination of ideas and then overwhelm and then frustration because nothing's happening right now. So there was that. And in the moments of like feeling, because these things matter to you, anything that's really important to you, whether it's a love relationship or a business relationship, right? All these things are things that you're cultivating. I'm creating this relationship with my business, with the idea of my business, where sometimes it can become distorted. It can become, I need it to be this thing. And you get so sucked in on that one thing that sometimes these other opportunities are passing you by and you're not even aware of them. So that's why these things come up though. That's why the discomfort comes up. That's why the negative emotion comes up, because there's something about the path that you're on that's not in alignment with what you really want. And it's like the analogy of being burned is always a really good, clear one that we all understand. If you touch the stove, you know, like, because it burns and you pull back. And so it's that same information, it's that same feedback that your soul is giving you like, hey, there's something else here that you can do, or a different path that you can take, or something about this relationship, this business relationship, this person relationship, this career, their body, right? Anything that will communicate to you. So I have an understanding about that. And so I was like, okay, so kind of taking a step back and just letting it be, not force fitting anything, and letting the ideas and the inspiration come to me. And then mid-May, I was feeling some body image issues, and this is nothing new, okay? That's the whole reason why I became a personal trainer. Let's be honest, all personal trainers are biggest projectors of body image issues. That's why we work on ourselves, because insecurities, straight up, that's the reason why we get into this career. And I'm not speaking for all personal trainers, but I know that for myself, that was a key thing. I wanted to feel better about myself, and I thought that my body would help me feel better about myself, which it absolutely does. It's a catalyst to wanting to take care of yourself more, wanting to eat well, wanting to take care of your mind better, wanting to connect spiritually past that, because you realize that there's more, there's another level, there's always another level. And so when these things came up for me, obviously it was, I had gained some weight that I had mentioned to you guys in a few videos back. You can see a quarantine weight gain. And so when the feelings come up, it's like this shame, it's like this guilt because of my identity. My old identity doesn't fit with my new identity, and there's this like conflict, right? The old chubby fat girl that I resonated with, that I would always, had shame also being brought up from other people as a little girl for being chubby or fat, and also wanting to be encouraged to work out, like the diet thing we've all kind of experienced growing up, especially if you are a woman, and even if you're a man. It depends on, of course, our own experiences, but there's this ideal that if we want to be liked or we want to be loved, we have to look a certain way or conform to a certain body type. And so that came up inside of me, and it's like a trigger, right? There's these things that just trigger, and that awareness in itself is beautiful, because from there we can not continue to dig that grave of old patterns and cycles and coping mechanisms. From that point, we can be aware, kind of like a hawk, bird's eye view, and then decide, okay, well, clearly I know that that's not true. Clearly I know that me responding in old ways is going to bring X, Y, and Z. What do I want to do? But it doesn't mean that absolves the pain or the discomfort or the trigger. Makes sense? Like, it's still something that you're kind of like, it's almost like picking off the scab of something. But instead of like keep on picking, digging, grabbing something and picking further through our old cycles of addiction or unhealthy coping mechanisms, drinking, eating, spending money, right? Like doing all these things that really keep us stuck, overeating, emotional eating, spending money, getting into debt, unhealthy toxic relationships. It's just like picking the scab, and then, okay, it's bleeding now we gotta like let it heal. But it doesn't mean it just voila, vanished. And that's what really triggers are. Triggers are those scab picking moments, but in that moment you have a decision to make. So there was that, and the thing that bothered me about that was not that, I guess, yeah, okay, that I gained a few pounds, but that seems so silly to be upset at that. It was more about the fact that I was upset that I was upset. It was more about the fact that I didn't absolutely love myself and didn't absolutely fully accept myself. And why did this bother me anyway? That was really what bothered me. It's like, you should be better than this, Leslie. You should be farther than this. Like, oh, we're here again. Like, you're gonna be mean to yourself. And so, you know, as a woman that wants to continue to evolve and grow, and has always been goal oriented, has always been, I could do it myself. It's very easy to fall into that being hard on yourself mind frame state. And you know, the other thing too is I decided to stop dating. Just everyone, everything. Like, also friends. I love all my friends. Every single person that has been in my life has had a huge impact in my life and has helped me become the woman that I am today. So I am forever grateful. But I've just been on this very focused on not just my career, but really being able to navigate the soul of Leslie, being able to navigate the mind of Leslie, and separate the two, because the mind quite often is like this dog that's like, but you need to be this, and you need to do that, and you need to get that right, and then before you can do this, you got to do that. And that's not who I am. I understand that, but I've been on mind autopilot for years. So it's a new country I'm exploring, essentially. It's a new location, it's a new feeling, it's a new vibe. And with that being said, I'm just minimizing the time I'm spending with any other human being and media, you know, shows, TV, movies, except for the occasional, I need to just let my mind rest and watch something funny or whatever. I like to also watch things on Gaia, which are like documentaries. So there's that. And today is June 20th. And so it's been about 7 weeks of this discomfort. And it hasn't been like, oh my God, the end of the world. It hasn't been like horrible. For one, because I understand that through this there's growth, and for two, because like, let's be real, things could be worse, right? You have to always sit in that of like understanding. But really, it's been this huge introspection of growth. And so I digressed a little bit of what I was saying of being really with myself, and when you're with yourself and nobody else. And there's also a part of that wants connection. I want connection so bad. I want to have beautiful, meaningful relationships. And I know that those things are on the other side of they're there. They're already there. They're already there. But I don't want that to be, and I understand that can't be the source of my happiness or my guide or the reason why I'm okay today, because I talked to that person or because I have this person to talk to daily. I very much am cognizant of this journey that I am on by myself, not by myself in terms of, oh, I'm alone, poor me, but with spirit, through spirit, to be able to really navigate through the programming and the chaos of old world Leslie, old patterns, cycles, Leslie, destructive behavior, mindset, toxic relationship, abusing alcohol, food, drugs, Leslie, And a lot of it has shifted, but there's still triggers that through not fully embracing this moment to dive in with myself. And what I'm saying is, if I were to entertain relationships right now, if I were to entertain friendships just because I want to feel better about something, or I want to distract my mind because I'm feeling this discomfort, that would not lead to this evolution. You see what I'm saying? That would not lead to the understanding and the reflective time. It's really that. It's this reflective time that I'm giving myself and being with myself to be able to look and say, oh wow, like this is what's happening and this is how you're growing, and it's okay. Being able to nurture yourself and really being able to ask yourself what it is that you want, not only from yourself but from the people around you that you have these relationships with, from the romantic relationships to the friendships to the business partnerships to even the clients and the relationships that you're creating with that, to the relationship that I have with my business, with food, with water, with the world, with plants, with my body, with my mind, because it's all relational. It's all relationships. And until we understand that nothing and no one outside of us is really going to fulfill fully what we are looking for, give us fully what we're looking for, but it is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. And you know, sometimes I also get caught up in the daily grind. Even that word, grind. So, that's where I'm at, 16 minutes and 35 seconds later. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's really, 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 really important to, for one, not pretend like it's always rainbows and butterflies. No, it's not. There's always going to be challenges, and there's always going to be moments of like, well, shit, this is uncomfortable. And it's in that not bringing other people down with you by projecting and pointing the finger and blaming, and it's so easy to do that. Like in these moments in particular, I want to go back in my head and start to say, oh, it's because of the trauma that I've been through. It's because of the things that I've been through. There's something wrong with me. And it's like, no, like that's so much easier to do. But that's, again, going back to the old patterns. It's cycles. It's addictions to these cycles. And that's really what keeps people stuck. It keeps people stuck. And I, for one, much rather go through this discomfort then stay stuck, because that discomfort is way worse and you're literally suffocating. So understand that discomfort is not bad, but a mere sign and implication, an indicator that you are growing. But it's not automatically given. The growth is not automatically given or automatically attained unless it is noted and you are aware. And it's through your own awareness that you're able to now make a new change, new decision, new thought pattern, new activation, new cycle by breaking the old. But you need to give yourself time to let it heal, let it mend, let it beautify, let it grow, let it nurture. Yep. So, if you have any questions on anything, you know, this journey, I don't think that I could ever be where I'm at right now if I have not learned to cultivate this relationship with Source, God, the universe, Jesus, consciousness, whoever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, the one. And it's because I have this belief that something out there is looking out for me. I see you, I hear you, okay, I communicate with you, I like talking to you, I like feeling your love, whether that's in the wind in my hair, the breeze, through the dog, through other animals. It's a feeling that is almost indescribable, but it feels like love. And for those of you that haven't felt love or loved, or don't feel lovable, or don't feel good enough, or always feel like things are not on your side, it can feel very hard to understand, or even want to understand, that there is something out there, or even believe that something out there loves you. But if you can just like ponder and play with that idea a little bit, and just look at the abundance of this planet, and look at the things that do always end up, like, life goes on, you know, like things continue to evolve and grow in the best way possible, the bigger picture than just like the problem mode. And also, without any problems, we would never look for a solution, right? If we were so comfortable where we are, we would never grow. So if there's anything that I can do for you, or you want to reach out and ask any questions, please do so. I want you to know that you're not alone, and that this journey is one to be met with grace and with love and understanding, understanding. And through that, it's a gradual process. And be patient with yourself. Be patient with the journey. Be patient with life. Be compassionate. And know that you're worthy. Know that you're worth it. Be interested and curious about the complexity and the simplicity of all that you are, past the mind, past the body, past your eyes and what you're seeing in the mirror, past your past and the things that you've felt and the things that you've dealt with, but now, like, all of who you are and all of where you've come from. Get curious about that. Much love.